Hello everyone, welcome to Dr. Rajkumar Academy. Welcome to the session on 16/9/2022 newspaper. So guys, as I told you, please have certain papers with you. So even with respect to topics like polity and all, you can add and I'll tell the topics that you need to study from Lakshmikant so that you can complete the revision of those topics as well. Interlinking of the topics with your static part is extremely important, guys. Especially, I won't be able to teach the entire chapter here, but it will be there in the book in a proper format. At least I'll tell you that what you need to study with respect to the topic. So, to begin with, if we look at today's newspaper, the first article is about Goa Congress Legislature Party merges with BJP. See, this is a political news, I agree, but there is something more to the politics here. What is happening? Normally, when MPs or MLAs leave one political party and join another political party, then that comes under anti defection. There is a defection from one political party to another. So, against this defection, there are certain provisions. That means, let us say a Congress MLA joins BJP, then he will lose his membership and then the seat will become vacant and again he has to contest the elections. But in Goa, 8 Congress leaders have merged. Now, how many were there? 11 were there. Now, according to the actual thing, in a particular state, let us say Goa, Congress had 11 MLAs. Two-thirds of the MLAs, right? If I consider 12, two-thirds basically means 8 MLAs. Fine. If it is 11, let us assume 7 point something. So let us take it as 8. So if 8 MLAs out of 11 come and join another political party, then there is no need of anti-defection. The meaning of this is if two-thirds of any political party members go and join other political party, then they don't come under defection. Then there is no need for them to resign. There is no need for elections. Now, for example, there are only 3 MLAs and 2 of them join. Even at that time, there is no need of defection. So I want you people to go through this properly, guys. In polity, you will have anti-defection, which comes under 10th schedule, and what are the conditions under which the MLA or MP will lose his seat. In that defection comes into picture. I want you to go through that carefully. Nothing much to write. It's not for writing, but it happened the same way in Maharashtra with Eknath Shinde's case. The same thing is happening with Congress in BJP, like in Goa. So it's very, very important for you to have these two. Soren seeks clarity from governor. For those people who have started listening to the videos now, just trying to tell you that Soren, who is the chief minister of Jharkhand, what he has done when he was mines minister, he has given tender to himself. Now that is under office of prophet and that is wrong. So here the issue is with respect to office of prophet. So I want you to mention somewhere that in polity you have to study about anti-defection. Second is about office of prophet. Now aim is conciliation with all armed groups in Northeast. Is the meaning of this is in Northeast India, different states are fighting among themselves. Forget about fighting against India or fighting against another country. Most of them are fighting among themselves as well. And the reason for this is I'll tell you. You see, when we talk about India's state reorganization, India's state reorganization occurred in three stages. The first stage is, as we are aware, about the formation of states on the basis of language. Correct? So you are aware about the language being the most important criteria initially. But if I talk about Northeast India, the entire Northeast India was divided into two states of Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. But this was not uniform. There were different insurgency groups which were fighting on the basis of ethnicity. So, what India did, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, remaining became Assam, Meghalaya, like this. We started dividing. Fine, we started dividing. Now, what has happened? When Nagaland was made, few Nagas were left in Assam, few Nagas were left in Arunachal Pradesh, few in Manipur. Now, Nagaland says this belongs to me, right? Assam is not willing to give, Manipur is not willing to give. Assam is asking these people must go. Manipur is asking these people must go. Arunachal Pradesh is asking these people must go rather than giving their land. There is dispute between Mizoram and Assam, Manipur and Assam. So, ethnicity was the core reason for border problem between the states in Northeast India. It was not done in a proper manner. That is also good at some point because some people argue, let us say all Nagas were in one side, all Manipuris would have been one side, Mizos would have been on one side, they all would have come together and fought against India. But today they are fighting among themselves mainly because of such division. But this was learned from Britishers to divide in a irregular manner, so there is divide and rule policy. But the present BJP government wants to resolve these issues and ensure that peace will prevail. And if this can happen, it would be good because today we have Bangladesh and Myanmar who are good friends of India. So if first was on the basis of language, second division was on the basis of ethnicity, third division was Chhattisgarh divided from Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand from Bihar, Uttarakhand from Uttar Pradesh. These were all aimed at ensuring that small states means more development. Larger states means development is difficult. On the basis of those aspects, these were divided. So, guys, this is very, very important for us. So, explanation is more important to you than writing notes and other aspects. There is a breakfast scheme. Such schemes will be helpful to bring children, guys, and at the same time, nutrition and other issues can be resolved. So, one good step we can tell. Because the next issue is parliamentary business and an essential pit stop. I would say a very good, initiative, and it is written by a person who has worked there. Now, let me tell you the context and the points that you need to write. So, the first major thing in this article is it says, recently you had a session. As you are all aware, there will be three sessions in the parliament. One is winter session, another one is budget session, right? And there will be monsoon session as well. Now, when we are talking about the recent session, which was held in the parliament, unfortunately, there was only five bills that were introduced and passed in a proper manner because of disruptions. So the parliament adjourned the session. Now, what is important for me here is in this article, Desh Deepak Verma argues that within the parliament there is parliamentary committees. See guys, in the parliament to support the MPs, there is a parliamentary committees, and these parliamentary committees will have Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha members almost in the ratio of 2 is to 1, and these are made up of MPs and mostly selected by Speaker of the Lok Sabha and Chairperson of the Rajya Sabha. Now, this article argues that the bills are not passed in the parliament effectively, mainly because there is no consensus among the opposition and the ruling party. Second thing, whenever a bill passes through a parliamentary committee, then there will be a proper discussion of that particular issue, and amendments will be made effectively, and when it goes to the parliament it is easy to pass, and whenever it goes to the parliamentary committee it will think from all the perspectives, all the stakeholders perspective. What is the meaning of stakeholders? Who will be affected because of that particular bill. So everyone will be benefited if at all the bill is passing through the parliamentary committees. Look at the beauty in which their argument is, guys. So he's trying to tell that farm bills were not accepted by the public because it did not get perspective from all the MPs. Once they get it, it would be easier for us to pass and convince as well. So, here the author argues that it is extremely important for us to ensure the bills passes through these parliamentary committees. And he says we should have three steps. And the first major step is almost all the bills must mandatorily pass through the parliamentary committee. Second, within the parliamentary committee, there must be no whip. What is whip? Let us say Congress will tell its party workers, don't support the bill, and you should talk like this only. And the members, if they don't talk in that manner, then the party can remove them. It is considered to be violation of the whip. So, if MPs have to explain it in a proper manner, then in the parliamentary committees, whip must not be there. Let whip be in the parliament. This is the second point he tries to tell. The third point here is the committees must be given a fixed timeline. Government is not willing to send each and every bill to the committee, because the committee will delay and they will be like, the bills will not be passed quickly, and sometimes it's very, very important for us to have the bills being passed quickly. At that time it would be difficult, so fixed timeline will be helpful. And also it argues that there must be some experts in the field who must be invited to work with the parliamentary committee so that quality work will be ensured. And at the same time, it must be made a demand to fix a time limit, like, by the speaker or the chairman. Then sometimes you need to have more sessions to ensure that these are completed on time. Fine. So they're trying to argue that within the time period, let us say, like, from one to another, when the session is going on, within that time period itself, the discussion must happen sometimes so that it can be passed effectively. So, guys, you try to write in polity, division of powers, division of powers between executive and legislature, division of power between executive and legislature. Fine. Division of power between executive and legislature. Below this you write, parliament is not able to is not able to do its work effectively, do its work effectively. Full stop. At this point, it is important to strengthen its working, to strengthen its working, which would which would strengthen which would strengthen democracy, which would strengthen democracy. Full stop. The main role of legislature, the main role of legislature is to pass the bills, is to pass the bills. But most of them are not passed, effectively, because they are not discussed properly, they are not discussed properly. Full stop. Opposition is protesting against these bills. Opposition is protesting against these bills after passing the bills, after passing the bills. Below this you write, role of parliamentary committees, role of parliamentary committees. First point, the bills passed by the bills passed by the parliamentary committees, parliamentary committees are mostly accepted, are mostly accepted by the opposition, by the opposition. Second point, when a bill is passed through the committee, when a bill is passed through the committee, we normally observe that there is overview. We normally observe that there is overview from different from different sections from different sections and it also includes different stakeholders and it also includes different stakeholders. Third point, if expert services are provided, if expert services are provided, the bills may undergo required changes required changes. Next paragraph. But one of the major problem one of the major problem for sending these bills sending these bills to the committees is that it delays significantly. So there must be a fixed time frame there must be a fixed time frame to to pass these bills by the committees to pass these bills by the committees. Full stop. Moreover, political parties must allow their MPs their MPs to participate participate in these committees without whip WHIP. Yeah. So guess the second issue, climate action that runs on cooperative federalism. This article is important where the lady is arguing about both central and state government when they come and work together, it will be really helpful, especially in introducing public transport buses which are electric, and this will reduce pollution and also reduce the use of fuel. But the point is, if it is coal run, it's fine. If it is natural gas run, it will be still a problem. But that is that the article is talking about this, nothing much. So we are successful in introducing, and she argues that 1,40,000 registered public buses are there in India, and most of it must be replaced with the electric buses, is what she is trying to argue. Fine. So, should India choose manufacturing over services? So, these are all choices given to the government, not required. Yeah. Nothing to hide in Congress, shun militancy, CPI hits out, Allahabad High Court rejects AMU. Why can't economic criteria be used? Prominent madrasa plea to raise retirement age of judges. Pratap Power, Yatra started, all are politics, breakfast scheme, Scheme is important, but not for exam. Law minister presses for fast track courts, which we are all aware that so many things are pending. So we need to look into it. Modi in Samarkand for Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting. Yes, yesterday nothing happened because Modi arrived late, where everyone had already met. So today he will meet. So tomorrow we will read about it. No separate domicile for the state, says Supreme Court. Former bureaucrats seek action against AAP. See, let me just tell you this. From ethics point of view, this is very important. Now, Arvind Kejriwal is in Gujarat and he has said that all bureaucrats must support AAP and help us win the elections. Now, according to Code of Conduct for Civil Servants, this is in violation. See guys, there is a term called as non-partisanship in ethics. The meaning of non-partisanship is no government servant should support one political party over another. He should not be biased towards any political party. What is the meaning of partiality? I am biased towards one, correct? So, partisanship means I am biased towards one political party. Non partisanship means I must not be biased towards any political party. I should work in such a way that even opposition political party should feel that I am working for everyone equally. So here Arvind Kejriwal asking bureaucrats to support them in winning elections is not correct according to ordinance order 16A of the election symbols, order 1968. And if this order is accepted, then recognition will be withdrawn. So that's what they try to say. Let us look at the issue. Six held for rape, murder of Dalit sisters. This is a continuous social issue which happens every day here and there. And as bureaucrats of future, people must come with some innovative measures to address such things. Because there are two aspects here. One is government aspect where government should take strict action. On the other hand, it is societal behavior where how the men behaves with women matters. And when we talk about government, it is very difficult for government to prevent rapes from happening, mainly because whenever a rape happens, let us say most of the rapes are done by the people whom the victim is aware about. She may be going with her cousin, she may be going with her friends, right? So government cannot stop. But there are certain crimes like this where women are killed when they are going, they are kidnapped. So police vigilance must be increased. But that itself is not enough because in rural areas and all, how much police vigilance can you increase? Right? So what matters is how effective the state is in handling such things is extremely important. NIA arrests three more in heroin seizure case. Because nowadays we are observing that lot of people are using Gujarat port, or some people in Gujarat were caught having drugs. Now I just want you to know Pakistan, Afghanistan, you see Pakistan, Afghanistan and Iran. These three come under Golden Crescent Crescent, Golden Crescent. And in Golden Crescent, opium is produced, and from there, drugs go across. For Punjab, most of the drugs come from Pakistan. So don't go with Arvind Kejriwal's statement that it comes to Gujarat and then comes to Punjab. If that is the case, Rajasthan must be also affected. But just remember, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iran. It is Golden Crescent. And in this article also it is said that the person who is being caught had links with Afghanistan, which is an indication that it was coming through Afghanistan and Pakistan route. Fine. Wearing hijab is an expression of self. The court has not given it yet. Center cites law to deny seats. Not required, guys. PM bats for greener automobile sector. That means automobiles must become more electric over a period of time. So guys, SEO is very important. I would give you take 5 minutes time. Read this article once. Tomorrow when Modi starts talking, I'll explain about that issue in detail. And Armenia, Azerbaijan, these two places are in between Caspian Sea and Black Sea. These were erstwhile part of USSR. I want you people to open your atlas and find Armenia and Azerbaijan. You can see in Asia map, guys, above Iran and beside Turkey. Geographically, it is important, nothing much. So, guys, economy also. See, guys, I'll tell you, economy, there will be very few articles in this newspaper. We need to read Business Line or something else to get more articles. What I would do, some people were asking, is it enough for us to listen to these or should we refer to something else? Over a period of time, we will also try to come up with subject specific modules where, current affairs of that particular topic will be completed from different aspects. So you need not worry about that particular issue. As of now, every day, if you are studying this, along with that, I would request you to read static part and NCRT along with optionals. That must be helpful for you to attempt 2023 successfully. Thank you, guys.